I'm going to get some cards. So, I'll wait for people to come on. This is not something I normally do, but I didn't get it ready prior. So here we go. I'll have lots of cards. So I listen for what speaks to me. Alright, how are you doing this? 1-1-1 day. 1-10. Add the year, it's 10. So it's January 10th, 2006. 26. I got that. So, all right. So I have some cards here. And yeah. So today's conversation. I don't know, the windows open, but it's just bright. Today I'm just present to when what I've been efforting and doing and pushing for so long, finally I get present to this is not freaking working. Not that it ever has, but dang, I'm hard-headed. How about y'all? Good morning. And even when I think I'm surrendered and I'm not pushing or trying to force something, I still am on some level. I'm still doing it. It's, gosh, because I had this moment yesterday. That's where this topic came out of. Because I had this moment last night, going to bed, struggling around, just the whole poverty consciousness, that kind of stuff. And I was finally like, I'm done. I used to do this early in recovery. I would exhaust all of my avenues of control. And I might even know the answer was to surrender. And I would get so angry and I would scream at Creator and go, fuck you, you do it. And I swear in that moment, it changed. In that moment, it would shift. I would shift, and then whatever I was trying to manipulate or control would change. It was crazy how it happened. Hi, Felicia. How are you? You have a special day coming soon. Yes. Hello. Hi, Rachel. So when we stop trying to force things to go the way that we think they should, and I finally surrender, it allows room for the universe to come in and deliver it the way that it was maybe meant to be delivered, instead of the way that I keep trying to force it. My God. So yeah, that happened last night, and I just was reflecting back when I was first sober, and man, I was hard-headed and stubborn. I can still be that. I'm just significantly less, but I would be trying to make something happen and control something and trying to push something and force something over and over and over and over. And when I'd finally just get mad and yell at God, and I would just throw my hands up and surrender, like, okay, I surrender already. I swear it would shift. Like whatever that was would just change. The course of it would change. The energy would change. And it took me a lot of time to understand that surrendering, like my way, if I'm not aligned in what I'm trying to make happen, then, right, yes, a lot of crazy stuff coming up around money, for sure. So if I'm not aligned with what I'm attempting to manipulate and make happen, it's not going to happen. It has to come from that alignment. And if I'm not aligned in it and I'm just thinking I have to do it my way, it's not going to happen. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of exhaustion. So I would know. As time goes on, you learn some things, and I would know, okay, the answer is to surrender. Still, I'm like, how do I just surrender? How do I just let it go? I couldn't do it in the beginning. Today I'm like, why do I keep pushing? Why do I keep pushing? And trying to do the same thing over and over and over. Definition of insanity, right? it's a trauma reflex. It's a trauma response in life because I thought I had to be in control. I felt out of control in my house growing up. So I had to control something on my inside. And so I would try to control the things around me. I felt out of control inside myself emotionally and in feeling safe. And so I would try to control my environment. Yeah, how many of us do that? A lot of us do that because we never felt safe in our growing up home. For whatever reason. Sometimes it's a simple look or a simple dismissiveness. Not always anything really spectacular. It can be small things. But we equate that with, okay, I'm not safe, and now we act from that place until we realize and create different safety. And rewire the nervous system for safety. That was something that showed up for me the other day around money. I had a reaction to something. I got a text from the bank and I had a reaction to that. And I'm having this moment because I'm supposed to react and I'm supposed to handle it. I'm supposed to fix it. And I'm supposed to take care of it. So my nervous system's still wired for that. So it's getting rewired now for the capacity of holding more. And that money's not just a rescue thing or a fixed thing. It can be a consistent thing. It's never really been that in my life. It's always been that, oh, whew, relief, I can pay some bills. And then I'm future tripping how I'm going to pay the bills. Okay, so there's my nervous system's wired that way. So learning how to sit in a place of safety that I don't have to react to everything. And then trust that the universe is going to deliver. That's part of that surrender. I get to trust that the divine timing of things and the universe will deliver. And it's not because I tried to push it or fix it or force it. It's just a paradox. It's just such a paradox. I have a deeper understanding today of how the nervous system, when we were children, we had these traumas, we had these experiences, we had these dismissive things. We can call any of it trauma, if you like. It's a word. And we stored that. And then we felt the world wasn't safe. And so we spend our lifetime attempting to create safety through control. Some variation of it. It may look different for you than it did for me. But that's how my nervous system was wired. Each time something happened, it wired for that. Oh my God, brace for the world. It's not safe. Brace for the rejection. Brace for the abandonment. Brace for the spankings. You know, brace. Always always on. And always hyper vigilant in my environment, especially being highly sensitive, empathic. So there were no boundaries. There was nothing that said, this is me. This is my safe sovereign space. Because I just felt everything. And then then we create these beliefs. I must manage the environment and the emotions of my family. So I don't even know who I am because I'm so caught up in that. Just trying to be safe. It's taken a lot of years to be able to trust what I read. To be able to know that I can trust what I read. I knew I was right. I just wouldn't say anything. But now I get to trust that and then take action upon that. If it's aligned, if I feel like it's necessary. I can trust that there are people I don't want to be around. Because we mismatch. Not because I don't like them, but because we don't match. Fight or flight energy is what the system keeps us in. Yes. The system being government, culture. Yes, absolutely. It's the fear energy, it's the cultural energy, it's the news energy, it's the TV energy, whatever you're looking at and watching, all that stuff is geared toward keeping us in fear. So we're always in fight or flight. That's why a lot of us end up with what's the I'm right here because it's adrenal fatigue. Because we're always on. The cortisol is always on in our body. So when we're always on and we're always hypervigilant, we're always standing guard so that we can feel safe in our environment, we're constantly creating that fight or flight, constantly that cortisol being released in our body. And then we get into these relationships that can feed that until we learn, right? This is not impossible. It's not like we stay there forever and ever and ever. Some people do. I have a friend who the daughter came home 25 years in this narcissistic marriage with the kid, came back to the folks, was there for, I think it was 3 months, and just went back. Because that's how the nervous system is wired. It's for trauma. They have a trauma bond going on. And many of us have had that. So we exhaust ourselves and we exhaust all of our avenues. We exhaust all of our possibilities because we're trying to control everything because we want to feel safe. Like, that's the bottom line. All that any of us want to do is feel safe in the environment. And if we didn't grow up feeling safe in our environment, we continue to live in that loop in some form. And we often don't realize it because it's not as extreme as it was when we were growing up, or it's different than we were growing up. But we create some other new way that keeps us not feeling safe and constantly on guard. We get to learn how to stop doing that and how to recreate and rewire the nervous system for ourselves. And that's where that rubber meets the road, and it's practice. So every time we take a stand for ourselves, every time we advocate for ourselves, every time we say no. No is a complete sentence. And it took me a long time to learn that because I was always given all these, let me give you all the explanations why I can't. Over-functioning, over-explaining. Because I didn't want to be rejected. Didn't want to be abandoned. You see the cycle? So every time we create something that creates safety for ourselves, we're rewiring. And what I'm seeing now is the old dialogue, the old persona still wants to come in and try to grab a hold. Because how does the brain operate? By our experience. So when we start to rewire the nervous system, the brain's like, no, that's not safe. I still have to be in control. And it keeps exerting itself until it doesn't. When we stop feeding it and stop giving it energy, it will stop reacting. Somebody asked me that recently. Do we ever stop? Do we ever stop reacting or having the same behaviors or patterns? I mean, we do. Some things are much easier. They're maybe not as long ingrained, or they're the top layers. So we do stop. It is a process, and it takes that commitment and consistency. Doesn't mean we never backslide. We do. I don't know if it's backsliding. It's just we're so familiar and comfortable in that behavior that it's really easy to just step in what we know. It's in the beginning, it takes way more effort to do the new thing. Just like when you're learning to drive a car, or you're learning to knit, or you're learning to write, or whatever you're learning, that's brand new. I always thought it had to be perfect right out of the gate. Well, I had to learn how to do it. I can't play the piano the first time I sit down. It takes hours and hours and hours of practice. Some people get it right away. I'm not one of those. So it takes practice when we're learning new ways and new behaviors, because our brain is just as vigilant. Annalise, I think is how I say that. Hi. Our brain is just as vigilant. The brain, however, is like the hard drive. It only has our experience. It only has what we've done in our life. So, I am looking at this. I just was shuffling this deck. This is what I pulled. Out of this deck, the Shaman's Dream. Root Girl, the disowned self. Can't make it up. Look at that. When we're always living from protection and trying to keep ourselves safe, we really disown ourselves. How many ways have you been abandoned? And how many ways do you abandon yourself trying to keep safe? Yes, me too. See, every time we protect ourselves from ever being hurt again, we abandon the little child that lives inside of us. We stop the feeling. We don't want to feel that hurt or that fear. So we abandon ourselves. Hence this disowned self. We disassociate from ourselves in order to stay safe. It's not a wrong thing. It's not a right thing. It's a what's so thing. It's a fact. In human nature, it's what we do. So be patient with yourself and be kind to yourself and stop kicking your own ass every time you do something that you're like, oh, I just did this and why am I still doing it? I did it all. I know this. Those are words I said to myself. Like, what are you doing? We just went through this. We've already done this. Ugh. Well, they're deeper layers. It's not that we've already done it. We're not repeating. They're deeper layers coming to the surface. And then we just react in the same way that we always have instead of just be kind to yourself and allow yourself to feel that what's coming up. That's the only way it's going to clear out. Feel it, walk through it. Don't hold on to it and wallow in it. That's the distinction. Don't hold on to it and don't wallow in it. Feel it. Let it move. The minute we block it and the minute we try to stay safe and the minute we try to protect ourselves, we're right back in that loop. Speaking from my own experience. Questions? Anybody have any questions or comments? How's this landing for you? This is Kyle. Are they both? No, they weren't both. All right, this is Kyle Gray, this Divine Masters. That deck. Thoth, Divine Magic. The teacher awakens. The student becomes the master. The student becomes the master. That's what we're learning. In this lifetime, we're learning to be masters. Masters of ourself, master of our energy, master of our emotions. That's what we're learning. So sometimes it's just noticing. I had this reaction. I had this feeling. What did I do with it? Did I act out? Did I just simply notice it and allow it to move? That's what I've been doing lately. You know how much easier that is? I don't have to live in it. I don't have to give it space. I don't have to make up a whole bunch of bullshit. I don't have to recreate the story. So I got a call. I'm not getting a call. I got a message. I woke up to a message the other day from a woman that my high school sweetheart had died in October. Cancer. And it hit me way harder than I thought it would. But what happened is I got to look at where I was, where I came from. That girl and that young lady that was a survivor and a scrapper, just trying to get to here. I got to look at that. Walk down memory lane. Whew. I don't recognize that young lady. I don't recognize her today. But I sure remember those feelings. The desperation the emptiness, the longing for someone to feel safe with and to feel loved by. A lot of firsts happened with that person in my life. So taking, just reflecting back to those times. And now what I get to do with all that is let it move. Let it clear. I don't have to go back and ruminate or reminisce or romance or wish it had been different. I don't do any of that stuff. I simply remembered the time in my life. And there was so much learning. And I'm so grateful. And I'm grateful she reached out to me because it was a lot of release. She did not like me very much. She was very threatened by me. Because, whatever. I don't really know. I don't know what he said, but I know that she was very threatened by me. And I haven't seen him in like 30 years. Last time I saw him was in a rehab. I was sober and had gone in there for a meeting, and he was in there. So, those things come in our life at this big time. Like, why now did she think of me? She's like going through some pictures and wondered if I knew. I don't keep in touch with anybody from that time in my life. So I did not know. And I was just grateful that she felt enough to let me know. That's it. I'm grateful that it's, I get to become the master, right? So this card here, the teacher awakens. My teacher's been awake. I'm a good teacher. But we're learning how to be masterful in our own self. When we're mastering our own self, we're mastering our emotions so that we're not reacting to everything in life. We're mastering our energies so that we are the thermostat. Thank you very much. I'm the thermostat when I walk in the room, or I'm the tuning fork. Look, I have a tuning fork. I'm the tuning fork. So I'm the one determining what the energy is when I walk in. I'm not coming in and regulating to the energy that's in the room. I'm setting the energy in the room. That's masterful. Not reacting and noticing what's showing up without reacting to it and just noticing and feeling it and allowing it to move. That's mastery. And that's what we're here to learn how to do. All right, lovelies. Any questions? Pull final card and ask Spirit if there's anything else. Anything else to speak to? Thanks for being here. Interesting. I pulled this deck. Yes. Let's talk later today. I'll call right after this at 10:30. There's something about the rose. I don't remember what it was now. There's something that came up about the rose. Yeah, I'll call you this afternoon. You have a time that you can send me a time. Send me a time if you have a specific time. That works. Whoa. I'm like throwing cards out. They're jumping out. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of them. All right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No accidents. All right. The first card from the Rose Oracle. I have all of her decks, I think. Rebecca Campbell. I really like her decks. Is rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. Now, what I feel about this card, it's a beautiful card, but rapture. How do you create rapture for yourself? How do you love yourself? How do you romance yourself? How are you devoted to yourself? How are you devoted to taking care of you? That's what that card is for me. The breathing rose, heart healing, emotions, connection, time eases. This is what we're all in a process somewhere in our life right now. Heart healing, emotions, connection, and time eases. The anointed. Answer the call, leadership, empowerment, soul gifts. Answer the call of your soul. What is your soul calling you forth to do and to live today? And a lot of things have been shifting right now from, because things I thought I had visions about some, I don't know, 5 years ago even, they're no longer. Like things are evolving so quickly that whatever I thought I would be doing or attempting to create at some point, I don't have that anymore. It's just not even there. So pay attention to what's happening. And the gift that you bring to the world is evolving. I've done a lot of coaching in my life, but I have evolved into this space of January 19th, a huge shift is coming. Yes, we're moving out of the snake. Is that the day that we're really completing the snake energy? Hi, Mel. So we're doing some significant shifting. So I've gone from coaching, fixing, rescuing, saving to I don't need to do any of that. I'm just here to calibrate. And I'm here to help others calibrate by being in my energy, because that's what happens. It happens automatically. I've done it my whole entire life. Hi, Alita. I posted it so y'all would know I was coming in at 9:30 and not 10. So I'm right at the end of the time here. So I was hoping you would see it, but it's okay. I'm glad you're here now. So that stuff is evolving. So paying attention to what feels really uncomfortable and is pulling you. It's like your soul is pulling you forward, or it's showing up in your life. There are signs showing up in your life to tell you it's time to shift out of whatever, because you're evolving into something grander, because you're remembering why you're here, but you're also remembering the original blueprint, who we were before we were hijacked and programmed and patterned, all that stuff. Right? Should have looked just when I feel I got you. Well, because I have another call at 10:30, so I moved it up a little bit. This was the card, the anointed one. I pulled 7 cards. They came out. All right, so that's the whatever one, 3rd, 4th one, something. The child within. Inner mother, innocence, gentleness, tenderness. So these are all that inner child I mentioned. Right? So how many ways do you abandon yourself? How many ways do you abandon the child that needs us to learn how to be a different parent than what we were growing up? And that evolves. So inner mother, being our own mother, innocence, gentleness, and tenderness. Right? Give yourself some grace. Be kind to yourself. Morning dew. So you can see the progression of these. Clarity, a fresh start, positive outlook. We are shedding a lot of old stuff. This is not about trying harder or working harder. It's about being okay where you are. My friend, her mom died, I don't know, week, 10 days, something like that. And so last night I saw her, and she's like, I just, when does it stop? When does it end? Or when do I feel different? I said, you don't. You just have to write it out. Let yourself be okay where you are in the grief. It's barely been a few days since her mom actually died. This is true for anything, though. Let what you're feeling be okay. Stop trying to change how you feel or justify it or tell yourself you shouldn't. Stepping back into this inner mother. Like maybe your mother wasn't that for you. Maybe your mom wasn't that nurturing, kind mother. My mom wasn't that. She didn't know how to be. So now it's my role to create that for myself and stop acting like her and treating myself that way. Open. Say yes. Expand through the extremes. Trust life. Right? This whole progression of these 7 cards. Be open to trusting life. Be open to what you feel and allow. The only way it's going to move is if you will let yourself feel it, notice it, and stop making it mean something. Every time we give it meaning and tell the story, we wrap into the loop again and recreate the same chemistry and energy in our body and keep the nervous system wired for trauma, drama, unsafety. That's not the word I wanted, but that's the word that came right there. It's a process. So be kind to yourself. And then the last one, the fertile void, inner winter, rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. Precisely what I needed to be hearing and reminded of. Yes. Of course. It was divine timing. Came at the right moment to hear what you needed. Okay, so here's all the cards. I'm going to just quickly show you again what the whole sequence of these were. They all came out when I was shuffling, so I went with it. All right, rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. Right? That's the first card. The breathing rose, heart healing, emotions, connection, time eases. The anointed, answer the call, leadership, empowerment, soul gifts. So you can see the process as we're moving through these. The child within, inner mother, innocence, gentleness, tenderness. I think y'all came for these. So this was the process of all these. So these are things that we go through, and the rapture is about being committed to yourself. It's not about necessarily rapture with other people. It can be. But if we don't create that for ourselves first, we don't get it from other people. It's always an inside job. Morning dew, clarity, fresh start, a positive outlook. Mornings are always, like beginnings. You've slept all night. It's a new beginning. Open, say yes, expand through the extremes, trust life. The extremes of ourself, the extremes of the emotion, the extremes of fear, the extremes of whatever we've experienced in our life. We're expanding through that. And then we're doing the fertile void, inner winter, rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. So winter is all about that time to go inside. Reflect on your life, the last year, what worked, what didn't work, all this snake year, all this clearing stuff. Take a look at all that stuff that's moving out of your life. Whether it's relationships, behaviors, patterns, maybe you've changed your food, maybe you've changed your workout style, all these things that are completing. And wintertime is the time to rest and reflect and plant some new seeds. And then when the spring comes, the seeds start to sprout. If you follow the cycles, you'll stop getting that, seasonal affective disorder or the downers or whatever they named it. It'll stop because you're honoring your own cycle and your own rhythm. And you're flowing with the seasons. Why in the spring and the summer we have so much energy. The sun's out, and then fall we start to shift again and start to shed, and then winter we go inside. Hibernate. Slow down. Be kind to yourself. All right, lovelies. Thanks for being here. So glad you made it. Go back and watch the rest of it. It's just good. It's always good, It's always good. But take a listen. And I'll see you here next week. I do my best to keep it around 10, but I made sure to post it last night. For those that know, it's typically 10. So much love to you too. Thank you. And I will, yeah, shoot me a time if it doesn't matter. I'll just call you later. All right. So have a beautiful week. Have a very blessed weekend. I love you very much. I'm very grateful for you. Namaste.